मैं रिंकू साहब आपके पास आ जा रहा हूं, और मैं जरा रिंकू साहब एक चीज स्पष्ट इसलिए पूछ रहा हूं कि यहाँ के अखबारों ने बहुत छापा है। एक स्टोरी यहाँ बार बार छपी है कि हौकिब साहब, जो यूनाइटेड कुकी लिबरेशन फ्रंट के अध्यक्ष हैं, सर्वे सर्वा हैं, उन्होंने एक एनआईए में हलफनामा एफिडेविट दिया है कोर्ट में 2 साल पहले, जहां पे वो कहे हैं कि बीजेपी के जो मुख्य नेता हैं राम माधव जी, जो उनके जनरल सेक्रेटरी थे, और हेमंत बिस्व शर्मा के साथ बातचीत करके उन्होंने एक अग्रीमेंट के तहत बीजेपी की मदद की, और 2017 के इलेक्शन में जब बीजेपी को मेजॉरिटी नहीं मिली थी तब भी सरकार बनाने में उनकी सहायता की। मैं थोड़ा एक चीज आपसे ये समझना चाह रहा हूं कि इसका कोई पॉलिटिकल एंगल भी है क्या? ये जो जैसे जो जनरली ये, हाँ, हम लोगों का इंप्रेशन है कि कुकी प्राइमरली शेड्यूल ट्राइब हैं, माइतीज प्राइमरली शेड्यूल कास्ट हैं, जमीन खरीदने के राइट्स नहीं, वो सारी समस्याएं हर स्टेट में किसी ना किसी तरह से हैं, लेकिन उसको क्रिश्चियन हिंदू करना या इस तरह का करना, क्या ये भी एक कारण है वहां के अनरेस्ट का? मतलब सरकार द्वारा प्रायोजित या एक पार्टी विशेष द्वारा प्रायोजित? रिंकू साहब,
मैं इस बारे में मैं क्लियरिटी करना चाहता है कि ये जो कन्फ्लिक्ट हो रहा है ये क्रिश्चियन और हिंदू का बीच में नहीं है। ये एक कम्युनिटी और दूसरा कम्युनिटी सपोर्टेड बाय ये आर्म कुकी मिलिटेंट हु आर अंडर सस्पेंशन ऑपरेशन विद द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एंड मणिपुर। ये ऐसा कन्फ्लिक्ट जो हो रहा है, ये मैतेई पीपल और वो कुकी पीपल प्रोबेबली सपोर्टेड बाय दिस आर्म ग्रुप whom we are considering them as narco terrorists. Okay, well, before coming that, let me मैं इंग्लिश में भी थोड़ा बात करेगा, हिंदी में
नहीं, आप पूरा इंग्लिश में बोलिए रिंकू साहब।
So actually, let me come from your angle that whether it is because of it is a political problem or it is because of a nexus with the government and this armed militant groups, whether it is like that. So you have been inquiring about it. From our perspective, so if we go back how these Kuki militants are formed, Kuki armed insurgents group, let us say like that. So they have been coming up here after the 93 Kuki Naga class. Their existence comes to the notice of the people after the Kuki Naga class. There has been a Kuki Naga class in the state of Manipur, a bloody class. Thousands of people died, over 900 people died, many houses were burned, a similar situation like this, but that was great. That time the catastrophe was, to a great extent, the large number of them is out there. So actually, why I'm coming that point is that after the formation of the Kuki armed group, their main agenda is, they have been coming from the Myanmar side. Their main agenda in Myanmar is a demand of a separate Chin state in Myanmar. So the Kuki people are demanding a separate Chin state inside Myanmar, whether it may be from the military government or whether it may be from the democratic government. They don't make any differences. They are not against the military, they are not against the democracy, nor they are supporting these two governments, but they are waging war against the government to form a separate state. At the same time, if you look at the Bangladesh Chittagong Hill tract, then you will find that the KNF, which is also the KNO, they are similar type of different nomenclature, but they have a strong relations. Their operating modus operandi is similar. So they are demanding a separate autonomous state there inside the Bangladesh. So in Bangladesh, the Chittagong tract, these Kuki militants are demanding a separate state, and at Myanmar, this Chin state Kuki, this armed group are demanding a separate state. At the same time, in Manipur, the kind of things, the kind of revolt demanding a separate administration is happening. It's coincident. So we can presume, we can probably taken in a sense that the way that has been risen in arises at Myanmar, Bangladesh, and India, it's coincidence. They may be having some type of this understanding between this armed group operating in the three countries. So their main agenda, their main idea is formation of a Kuki land there is an independent Kuki land from Myanmar, from Bangladesh, from India. That is their main agenda. So these are all the things that are behind the what is the root of this problem. That is what I'm telling you. So actually, what happened is that in Manipur, peoples are thinking that the violence that has been hunting here in the state of Manipur is because of the demand by MyTake communities of ST, scheduled tribe status. I don't think that the scheduled tribe status is nothing. It has something to do with this conflict. It is rather bigger issue. Scheduled tribe is a smaller issue. When if scheduled tribe is the reason for all this happening, then it could have been between some other peoples belonging to scheduled tribe staying in the hills. None of the other scheduled tribe communities are, we engaging in conflict with the Métis. Actually, what happened is that before the organizing of this the tribal solidarity rally on May 3, earlier on April 28, there has been an uproar in the district of Chuchampo. The Chief Minister of Manipur, who has been very active in eviction process of those and crossing the protected area, protected forest area and the reserve forest area. He has been very active. He is active in driving out those encroachers from this. And then a campaign against the poppy plantation has been going on for quite a long time here in the state of Manipur. When the poppy plantation, there are some people who are directly engaging in the poppy plantation in most of the hill area, whom we call these people as a narco terrorists. They have a lot of financial source, and this money they can drive the common people. They can use the common people for their own benefit and for their own purpose. So it seems that this is a long pre-planned things that has been sparking out on May 3. On May 3, what happened is that people are thinking that after the rally, the violence broke out. It is not after the rally that the violence broke out. If you look at the story on what happened on that day, actually what happened on that day is that at 10 a.m. 2 forest bid office were burned down in Churchampur district. So what is the reason for burning the forest office? Their target is the forest office, because forest is the authority who has been evicting them out from the places. So they are targeting the forest office, and later their anger was poured to the people, civilian people here at Kangbai area, because some people definitely, if there are protests, and some should be there for protest, and they engage in class. And then, on that day, 2 Métis people were found dead at Kangbai area. So, and everyone might have seen about the weapon they have been carrying during the rally, So these are some of the facts that has been happening here. And I do not...
Professor Rinku, there is a question from one of my guests, Lakshmi Ayer. She says, Professor Rinku can't understand why cookies in Manipur did not bother asking for separate administration in the last decade or before. Can you explain this, please? उनका कहना यह है कि पहले कुकीज ने ये डिमांड इतने कस के नहीं मांगी थी, और एकदम से ये क्या ऐसे हालात हो गए कि वो एक सेपरेट स्टेट की मांग करने लगे. प्रोफेसर इनको बहुत
that is what I am telling. In this very total geographical area of Manipur is just 22,327 square kilometer. In this 22,300 square kilometer, the area where the cookies are dominated is much little than smaller than this portion, because there are 16 districts in the state of Manipur, and out of these 16 districts, they are demanding for a separate administration in 3 districts only. So how could it be possible formation of a separate administration or union territories in this very small land, and how they assume that the formation of a separate administration can make them is feasible for the administration? What I am telling is that there is an agenda, a long pending agenda that the Kuki people has been dreaming, the KNO has been dreaming. At the beginning, I told you that there has been demand about a separate state formation in Bangladesh and separate state formation in Myanmar, and a similar kind of demand inside Manipur, When you look at the map, at which the ZRO, there is a Joe Reunification Movement organization like that. There is one organization who is spearheading this separate administration demand. So actually, what happened is that they have drawn a map. They have submitted a memorandum to the United Nations demanding for a separate land covering out all the portion of the land from Myanmar, Bangladesh, and India. So the main motive behind the demand of this separate administration is nothing but to to disintegrate India, Myanmar, and Bangladesh. That is their main agenda. That is why I'm bringing up this issue, why there is a war in Myanmar, why there is a war in Bangladesh, and why the uprising demand for separate administrative area in Manipur coincide with what is happening in Myanmar and Bangladesh. That is what I was trying to tell you.
प्रोफेसर रिंकू, मैं आपके पास, क्योंकि उसके बाद समय की वो है, मेरे दो बहुत छोटे छोटे क्वेश्चन है। एक तो जरा ये बताइए कि मणिपुर क्या ड्राई स्टेट है, एक। दूसरा, मेरे एक दर्शक पूछ रहे हैं, ही इज अ लेफ्टिनेंट कर्नल, वो कह रहे हैं कि देयर इज एन इम्प्लिसिट मैसेज दैट ओनली कुकीज आर इन्वॉल्व्ड इन पॉपी प्लांटेशन बट मैथीज आर आल्सो एंगेज इन पॉपी। उनका कहना है जो वो प्लांटेशन को लेके और जमीन को लेके जो झगड़ा है, और उस पे भी आपकी एक छोटी सी टिप्पणी, और जरा मुझे ये बता दी क्या मणिपुर इज अ ड्राई स्टेट? प्रोफेसर रिंकू,
I will answer it in short. Manipur is at present a dry state. Even though the government is trying to lift it, the cabinet has taken a resolution to lift the ban, but still it is not lifted. It is under consideration. The assembly is yet to pass a bill regarding the lifting of this prohibition. And number two, your question is very interesting. You told me that why only the cookie, why not others? Actually, most of the kingpin, those who are financing this plantation, plantation of poppies require a whole lot of money. Financial requirement is huge. So in Manipur there are no such people that who are very rich. Those who are rich, okay, we know how they become, and then some of the people who are engaged in drug trade, we have some some apprehension that there might be some MyTakes or some people who are engaged in this. And mostly, I have a clarification here. I'm not professor. I'm a journalist by profession. I'm an editor of Impulse Times news editor. I'm not professor. That one I want to clarify. So, being a journalist, I have visited so many fields. I've visited so many poppy plantation area. On that, what I found is that even the Nepalese villagers, and the MyTake villagers who are very poor, okay, who are inhabiting in the hill area, in the close proximity of the area where the poppy plantation are going on. These people, rich people, they were either from the Myanmar part or from somewhere whom we do not know, whom they have good connection with many of the armed forces or the politician, or these people they funded, and small time worker they engage in poppy plantation. So we can definitely in one way say that indirectly the small villages here they are also involved, but they are not the main culprit. They are survival of fittest. They are trying that for for their daily breads. So we can't blame these small cultivators, villagers who are engaged in poppy plantation. We do not blame all the cookies or all the for plantation of this poppy. We also blame others. But the main thing we are blaming is that those who are financing, those who are doing this, we know who are these people. We call it narco terrorists. The fund that they use from here are being utilized to small villagers, to the cookies innocent peoples, to support them. These are the things happening here. So let us be very, frank in this. So what happened is that, the suspension of operation going on with the 25 cookie militants out here is a tool utilized here only in the state of Manipur. Nowhere in any part of India, this suspension of operation is going on. How is the modus operandi? Everybody knows it, the modus operandi. So, it is a flop policy of the government to curb the armed insurgents group or armed militants. It is only harboring this armed group. Why not the government take a decision to make another policy or to review this shoe policy if they really want to, suppress this to put down this armed insurgents group, why only in Manipur they have been using this kind of suspension of operation? This suspension of operation is also one of the major problem, one of the roots that has been causing all the clashes here, the riots here. So the government of India should think of this suspension of operation in connection with suspension of operation, whether it should be reviewed or it should be abrogated. That should be one thing that the government of India should think. And another thing is that, or otherwise, if they think that SU is important for them, why not give all the designated camp of this militant to a specific area, where the army can control, where the central paramilitary force could control? Why not they keep in a specific area? Why scattered in different places of Manipur? This is my question to the government.
Rinku sahab, a very small question, because I am running out of time. A very small question. Myanmar briefly had a democratic when Aung San Suu Kyi came to power and then she was thrown. आपके हिसाब से बहुत छोटा प्रश्न है, जब आंग सान सूई की गवर्नमेंट थी, जब मिलिट्री जनता नहीं थी, तब क्या बेटर हालात थे एज फार एज इंटरनेशनल बॉर्डर, एज फार एज इंडिया इज कंसर्न, या इस समय बेटर है? आई एम जस्ट कंपेयरिंग दोस टू गवर्नमेंट्स ऑफ म्यांमार. इंडिया से कोई लेना देना between the Aung San Suu Kyi government, democratically elected government, or the present military government?
नहीं, आंग सान सू की वो इलेक्टेड था और गवर्नमेंट में था. It was never a democratic government in Myanmar. It was a partial democratic government. It was because the reservation of the military men was 25% of the parliament. Without contesting election, they used to come in the parliament and join the formation of the government. Later, they have many supporters there. The military have more power in the Myanmar parliament during democracy time. And after democracy, after this coup also, the military is in power. We don't make any difference if it comes to the interference from the other part of the Myanmar side, inside the infiltration of foreigners in Manipur. We don't make any difference. During Aung San Suu Kyi time also, there were infiltration, there were illegal immigrants coming into India, and even today also. The difference is that those time they come in chuk ke aata hai na wo log us time mein, but today they come here with guns and snipers, everything, in a warlike situation.
Yeah.